following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Hallmark Greatness Half Christmas Month. The podcast dresses up a Hallmark snowman in the clothes of your dead mother. I'm Joe, and with me as always, she's just got out of prison after hiding a crossbow in the back of the filing cabinet at work. It's Barney.
Where else am I going to keep it?
And using elf jerky to deflect the deadly snow shark, it's Katie. I don't know what that means.
It's because they build a shark out of snow, don't they?
Yeah,
Jaws.
yeah, no, it's no Jaws. If you want to keep up to date with the Hallmark Great gossip, you can follow us on Twitter at Hallmark Great, all one word, or on Instagram and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. This is it. This is the last film. We have to do Christmas, the June-mas, half Christmas, whatever you want to call
It's
it.
over so quickly, isn't it?
That's the best. Well, when real Christmas comes around, I'll leave it up to you. But I would not recommend doing one a day. This week's film: A Dickens of a Holiday. Barney, do you have a synopsis?
A Hallmark version of A Christmas Carol that does not contain Carrie Fisher or the Fonz.
Boo! Obviously.
Boo hiss. It was a close vote, though.
It was for
Not
yours,
Joe.
not for mine. No, the Fonz. Everyone's wary after the Patrick Stewart one, I think. And also, Carrie Fisher was in it in a very tertiary role, I think.
It had Carson Kressley in as well, the Carrie Fisher one.
Well, there's always next Christmas. To mark the 100th anniversary of her hometown's Victorian festival a success, Cassie invites action movie star and former high school classmate Jake to play Scrooge in A Christmas Carol. This is Jake.
That's where I think, right, okay, this is
They're
where I got
all just
confused.
Jake from now on. This film, Christ. It's very on the nose, isn't it? Like, the opening shot, the town is called Dickens, Ohio.
Yeah, they mention that a lot.
Is it filmed in Ohio? I'm going to guess no.
Winnipeg.
Probably. Oh, Vancouver. It's always Vancouver. We open up. We are introduced to our heroine in this, Cassie. Yeah. And she is the director of the town's traditional annual performance of A Christmas Carol that they do on Christmas Eve. And everyone in the town comes and watches it. And it's a bit weird, that, isn't it?
Most of the town are in it performing.
Yeah, who's left to watch it?
Just one guy, me.
Who's not been allowed to be in it because it's creepy snowman pervert.
Also, how hunch is that mare? It's like a triangle. His body is just so weird.
But yes, she's doing this thing. May Givens is called, and there's supposed to be the drama school teacher is playing Scrooge. Ray, I think he's called.
But he's lost his voice.
He's lost his throat. He's lost his voice. He's got laryngitis and nodules.
Cover all bases there.
Yep.
Done.
He's not even allowed to whisper.
No.
Complete silence.
So
Still sneaks onto that stage at the end, though, doesn't he?
yeah, he's got to get. Well, did you not see when he was doing his Ebenezer Mime Scrooge? Ebenezer? When they're at the park, he's just gyrating in front of a load of kids. Weird.
Probably think they're all snowmen.
I'm a little snowman. I'm a little snowman. So she's like, oh, we haven't got a thingy. Why don't we try this action movie star, Craig Dorsey, who was from this town? For some reason, I missed that bit. Why they had to phone him?
Because it was either that or they cancel the play because nobody else can fulfill that role.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough.
And no Scrooge, no play, which is fair enough because he is quite integral, isn't he?
He's a prominent character in it.
He's like the only character. He's one main character.
Scrooge, bash him with your cane. It's a bone llama. Sorry.
What?
Yeah, so they felt it's. I think you should leave now.
Oh.
No, Skeletrops. So they phone him. He's doing stunts, and he has a catchphrase that is.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember. It was so inconsequential. It was like, do it now, or I'll kick you, something like that.
Yeah.
Don't die, because that's a bad. Yeah, but it's not a good catchphrase. It's not like Nice to see you. To see you nice.
It's not. It doesn't look like a very good film, does it? I think that's the implication as well. That it's just like one of. It's a bit like a Fast and Furious.
It's the third one in a franchise. His own franchise. I mean, another third film in a franchise is always the best one.
I've seen Blood Fist 3. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Terminator 3. Back to the Future 3. It's still
Iron
better
Man
than
3.
2, though. Yes, 3's better than 2. But yeah, and he's like, oh, his assistant as well is like, they know each other so well, and he's giving him this coffee, and he's bought all this present shite, and he's like, oh, I'll go and do this because it'll look good for PR. I don't know why he goes back.
Oh, he wants to be in that book that his mum liked.
Yes.
The Belvedere Party one.
The Belvedere Party.
And the director rings him up and says that he's just not going to be considered because he's not a serious actor.
Because he's an action
and it's a
dude.
serious film.
His immediate response is, I'm going to go and play Scrooge in an amateur dramatic production of A Christmas Carol in my hometown. That'll show Hollywood.
Yeah. Then I'll be taken seriously.
Yeah. So he rocks up and like, it's kind of a knob, like all the way through it. Like at no point am I like...
He's got the most ridiculous voice. You know, he reminded me of, I've been keeping this to myself in our text today. He reminds me of, you know, in Black Books, and he's like, Fran.
Peter Serafinowicz. I'll come, Fran.
Yeah, he's that. Because he's got this like really low voice, but like sort of sexy, trying to be sexy.
Trying to be sexy, but you know it's not his real voice as well.
Yes, hello, Cassie.
Yeah, because I thought he was doing the voice just to be Scrooge, but he doesn't. He flips in and out of it.
Yeah, he does sometimes.
When he does Scrooge, he goes all like, "Why, father?" Very strange. I didn't understand.
I think he's supposed to be doing an English accent. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
Is it though? I don't. Maybe it's what they think of him.
I hated him. I just wanted to punch him in the face.
There's nothing redeeming about him as a character in this whatsoever. They do all this bollocks of like rehearsing for the play. He gets really into it, and like they go to a candle mass sing along, carol concert. That's the word. Fucking hell. Carol mass sing along, and he's like falling in love with the town. He falls in love with her,
and Cassie directs him, doesn't she? And he, in just a really inappropriate way, by like touching and molding his face and like stroking his cheek.
I don't know if it worked for Polanski, but yeah, I don't think you should touch your actors like that.
No,
but it's because he wasn't getting like into it. He was seeing
sexy. She kind of is like trying to get him into it through flirting with him. Yeah.
But he can't remember. He's not taking it seriously. He can't remember his lines. He's jerking around, and then he meets his nephew.
Who's playing Tiny Tim,
who idolizes him because he's a movie star, but they don't. His dad and him don't speak because he left when he could have been running the restaurant that his parents left. I mean, like, he's got chops. He's got acting chops, hasn't he? Well, he's an action star. He's been in 3 films, so
yeah. I was thinking this right.
More than Mel.
I thought if he's like, I associated it with like sort of Fast and Furious films.
Yeah.
Imagine what's one of the characters in that? I've never watched any of them. But there's some famous people in that, isn't it?
Yes, there's lots of famous.
Name one of them.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. I thought it was Vin Diesel. Imagine if he was just in the local play, how many people would just rock up to see him in a like.
I would pay through the nose to see Vin Diesel and Scrooge.
That auditorium, that school hall that they're performing it in, is going to be rammed.
Oh, good. I'm gonna imagine that later. Yeah, it would be, but
it's weird.
Nobody's allowed in. No one's allowed to video it either, for reasons, I guess.
Because he's shit.
Because he's not very good. But she directs him in not only in the play but also in his life by getting his nephew to hang out with him at the gingerbread making contest. Because, why not? His dad shows up, his brother, and he's like, nah, you're a dickhead, and we're not hanging about with you. They go for dinner at the restaurant, and he orders chicken pie, and he's like, it's Mum's recipe, but I've made it better. And then he eats it, and he goes, we're best friends now. And I'm like, over a pie? Great, that's lovely.
Yeah,
the power of pie. He's doing well in the play. Everyone's happy with it. he gets proper into the acting role by doing the voice. And then and his assistant says to him, that big executive is doing a version of, what was it? The Fields of Fleming.
That's because they get a horse-drawn carriage.
Oh, fuck's sake.
And in the box to get a blanket, that book is in there. And he's like,
Yes.
oh, what a coinky-dink.
Yeah. Because
the personal assistant records him practicing the speech, doesn't he?
Yes, sends it to this guy, director. And he's like, "You're doing good acting. We want you to come and audition for this thing. But you have to come to one of my sexy Hollywood parties first." And he's like, "Yeah, Me Too era." And he's like, "No, I'm not doing it. I'm going to do the Scrooge play because I've committed to it." And Cassie says, "No, you have to go. It's a big dream you've always wanted." And again, this left me confused as to who this was supposed to be for. Because normally she'd be like, "No, you have to do this," and he'd be like, "No, I have to go." And it was the other way around. I didn't stand.
Yeah, but then she was like, "Well, it's all right. I'll be screwed." It's like, well, you could have done that at the start. You didn't need to get Jake involved.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, with enough makeup, you could look like a Scrooge." And then they literally just put a hat on him. That's all I do.
Where's Cassie gone?
Still like the really glamorous curly hair and a woman's face. They don't make any attempts to make it look like an old man.
Scrooge has had a glow up.
Take the hat. She's back. It's like peekaboo with a child.
But like when they do him, he's like made to look like really old, isn't he? And like put wrinkles on him. Whereas with her, it was just like hat.
That's what you need. So she's like, "Doesn't matter. I'll do it." And they're like, "Yay, the show must go on," and all that. And then he shows up and he's like, "No, I said I'd do this and I can't leave you. There'll always be another time."
Fucking spent hours learning the lines.
It's Scrooge, mate. Even if you don't know it, you know it well enough to just bumble through it, don't you? Just from watching Muppets.
Boy,
there goes Mr. Hum.
Yeah, there's no songs in this one. Bollocks. I'm going to do them on my own anyway. And I'm going to be the Mises and everything.
The Ghost of Christmas Present was very much like the Muppets Ghost of Christmas Present.
He was a bit more aggressive though, wasn't he? Because when they're doing the play, they cut to him doing the all the bits. But when it gets to the "Tell me, spirit, does Tiny Tim live?" the Ghost of Christmas Present is like, "Fuck you, Grandad." He's like, "No, he must die and decrease the surplus population." I was like, all right, was it all in cats, that bit?
That was the best line in the whole thing.
That's the bit that they like repeat like at different moments through the film, don't they?
Yes,
So they keep going, "The surplus population."
Yes, what he says, Fred at the start, or the guy from the guy's played by Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker in the Muppets version. That's the only version that matters. And everyone's happy, and they all come out and take a bow, and the mime comes out and takes a bow as well. Even though he did fuck all, she comes out and takes a bow, and it turns out that because this was broadcast or something, he's still going to get his shot at the thingy. But he's like, do you think long-distance relationship will work? And he goes, "Wherever you are, I want to be," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it ends. They do some deep kissing, and it ends.
Deep kissing.
That's what it is. Didn't care for this purely because the main guy in it was kind of annoying. Like,
what do you mean he was annoying?
Listen, Scar. Everything the light touches is where I am Scrooge.
Which voice did you prefer?
It's got a range of 2. Yeah, it just didn't do anything for me. It's very.
I said I'd rather have watched the play part as a whole thing rather than the film.
Yeah, I'm sorry, picked Christmas Carol stuff in the vein. Hope we would see a version of A Christmas Carol, but unfortunately, we just got A Dickens of a Christmas
to reduce the surplus population.
Yeah, so it's gonna get a coal. A coal, not a perfect snowman coal, like a lump of coal.
Just a lump of coal. What's the worst thing for me? Christmas pudding. One Christmas pudding. I ate Christmas pudding.
Vodka margarine.
Well, I think something snapped in my head because I quite enjoyed it.
That's fine. You're entitled to.
I'm not as much as Snowman's, I think, and I like Nutty Christmas. I think something's definitely gone wrong in my brain now because I think I like Hallmark Christmas films now. So yeah, I think it's not as good. So I'll give it one. One Christmas pudding, but I like it. So there you go.
If you like Christmas pudding,
I like Christmas pudding.
That's the opposite spectrums of Christmas pudding there.
So So, as it's only a quick episode, I've only got the one fact, but I think you'll like it. The director has directed something else. Can you guess what it was? It has been mentioned today in this podcast.
Nuts.
No,
Christmas Carol or whatever it was.
it's not one of the ones. It's not a Christmas film. It's something that you mentioned it in this podcast, though.
Oh, mate.
Fast and the Furious.
No.
No.
Oh, that would have been brilliant if it was.
I have no idea. Go on.
Blood Fist 4.
No!
No!
Yeah.
What? Wow.
Mind blown.
So yeah, it's quite a step change.
A jump, yeah. We never got to 4, did we?
No, I don't think it did.
No, because 3 was really weird, so we stopped.
Yeah.
Well, it might have a man with a deep voice and a slight
I am
English
Blood
accent.
Fist.
Blood Fist. Yeah, there you go. He's done lots of other films, like I can't remember the names of them. I didn't write them down, but they were all like Apocalypse and Shark Fist, whatever.
Fighter 2 is one of them.
And then
Ooh.
Dickens of a Christmas.
He's in. Wow. Yeah, all these early ones here. Oof. Lethal Obsession, Double Suspicion. Not just one suspicion, 2 suspicions. Deadly Surveillance. Yeah. I think we might find a new hero here. That one.
Got a good one and a bad one. Pleasant Surprise by T-Pack. 9 out of 10.
X-Pac
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
T-Pac likes it.
Christopher, spelled as in Chris and a offer, and
Okay.
I offer you this for this.
All right.
So Christopher Paloha is not one of my favourites, but this movie sailed way past my expectations. He displayed acting chops. I didn't know he had. The story was really cute. The script was great and the supporting cast was outstanding. I felt Brooke D'Orsay's character was a little confused at the beginning, but she pulled it together and delivered a great performance. One of the best of the season.
I mean, T-Pac.
You need to get out more.
Yeah, you need to go and have a friends with your brother's flat and 6.
And then Jake the Snake comes in with a 4 out of 10.
What, the actual Jake the Snake? Jake Roberts?
Jake the Snake.
Oh,
Boring
can you
with
imagine
no
if it
life.
isn't?
Oh, Hallmark, another miss to add to your Christmas collection. The film's premise is bad, the story is bad, the acting is meh, but over bad. The story is so boring that I almost fell asleep. That's how boring the film is.
All right, Jake the Snake, calm down. God.
Still gave it a 4 out of 10. I mean, if you were that bored.
That's sort of where I am at with it. It was just because the guy was annoying, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
I
the
wouldn't
lady
watch
was
it
fine.
again.
No, it's not in my.
No,
rotation.
I didn't like her either. I don't know.
She was boring.
They're all supposed to be kind of boring. That's the thing, isn't it? They're supposed to be
Yeah,
everyman.
I mean, we watch a lot of these films, but there was just something missing with this one.
Yeah, it's just not that je ne sais quoi, garçon. Ew,
You're going
fish.
to be saying that now, aren't you? Garçon.
After everything, just garçon.
Yeah.
In conclusion, that was, what was it? Too many Dickenses for Christmas or whatever. Get your Dickens out for Christmas. I have a line from the film that I thought was quite nice, actually, here. So we'll go out on that. The heart doesn't care about timing, only what makes it beat faster, like a pogo stick or a treadmill. Happy half Christmas, everybody. Goodbye.
Merry Christmas.
Half Christmas.
Half Christmas. A dandidly-dastic Dickens day.